Hi, welcome to Team 1's project proposal on Eastman Chemical Company. Today you will be hearing from Grace, Chloe, Sanjana, Michael, and Caroline. As we found in our first project, there is an imbalance in the work-life ratio for Eastman Chemical Company's employees. Although in past reviews, Eastman Chemical Company has been portrayed as one of the best places to work for, recently, there have been negative reviews centered around the time employees have had to dedicate to the company. As Eastman Chemical Company grows and takes on more innovative projects, employees must devote more of their own time and effort to the company, sometimes even being forced to work overtime and on weekends in order to meet time-sensitive deadlines. In the next few slides, Team 1 will focus on how to promote a more equal work-life balance in order to keep employees satisfied and maintain a high level of productivity.
Over the past year, Eastman has been experiencing market growth in the specialty additives department. This growth has required workers to work longer hours in order to keep up with demand. Additionally, to meet demand requirements, Eastman has invested in a new manufacturing plant. As a result, this investment has further increased hours of work for their employees. As a result of the innovation initiatives Eastman has taken to stay competitive, the problem of work-life balance has emerged. This problem has affected employees enough to where they feel compelled to write negative reviews of the company on websites such as Glassdoor. Glassdoor is a website where employees, current and former, anonymously review companies and their management. Work-life imbalance has affected employees because their reviews of the company have become increasingly more negative in the past year alone. In fact, this problem has only recently become an issue. Based on employee reviews, Eastman has won the Glassdoor Employee Choice Award for the best places to work from 2014 to 2016. As you can see here, Eastman's rank has changed each year. However, Eastman jumped from rank 11 of 50 in 2016 to not placing at all in 2017. Upon analyzing employee reviews, most were centered around improper work-life balance. Here are a few examples of the reviews we found involving work-life balance. Employees in these examples are expressing their displeasure. One employee recognized how this is a new issue in the company, as Eastman used to be known for their great work-life balance. Not receiving this award in 2017 based on such reviews suggests that Eastman's employees are not satisfied with their circumstances resulting from market growth, and which further highlights the need for an improved work-life balance. With that, we will now introduce our several recommendations we found that would be best suited in order to do so.
So for our proposed solution for Eastman, we've come up with multiple types of improvements that can be made within the company. So we're first going to start off talking about the structure of the company, and then we're going to follow that by more of incentive type benefits that we can give the employees, ending with a strategy followed up by a way to actually measure all of these things that we've been saying and implement it. So as for the structure of the company, a suggestion that we have is to focus on achieving a high performance work system. So what this is the perfect combination of people, technology, and organizational structure, so the management levels within the company, to make full use of the company's resources and opportunities. So through using the right combination, the company may actually increase efficiency and essentially reach its goals easier. So the right people is probably the most important element of this system, as it's really important to have employees who are well suited for their job, who like their job, and who are prepared for their job. So there's also been a correlation found between work-life balance and total factor productivity, which is also driven by a factor of good management. So this is explained more in our conclusion, but basically if employees are happy with the way their life at home and life at work balances out, and they also have good management at work, so they feel, then their productivity will actually increase and stay positively affected by that. So, companies with high performance management systems focus on employees' activities contributing to the organization's final goals. So, making sure that everyone's efforts are going towards the final goals set by the management. Well-managed companies also have high rates of productivity due to employee satisfaction, as I said earlier, and they also embrace flexibility within the workplace. So, with a high-performance work system, productivity will be increased, which means less time being spent at work for employees and more time on the life side of the work-life balance, which will increase employee satisfaction, which we talk about later.
So, what is flex time? Flex time is a flexible hour schedule that allows workers to customize their workday start and end times. Flex time consists of two periods, the first being a core period and the second being a bandwidth period. In the core period, employees are required to work. In the bandwidth period, all required hours of work must be completed. So the next question is, what are the main differences between traditional and flex time hour scheduling? So with flex time scheduling, the total amount of hours required is actually the same amount as it would be for traditional scheduling. And with flex time, there's more of a choice or option of where and when that workers will complete their jobs. The greatest advantage of flex time scheduling is that it allows employees to coordinate their schedules with long commutes to work, transportation, or children's schedules, or even prior commitments. In addition to this advantage, studies have shown that an introduction to flexible working patterns has increased employees' productivity levels, which in turn increases profitability. Next, we are going to focus on implementation of flex time at Eastman Chemical Company and the results of this transaction. So back to the main issue at hand. Eastman Chemical Company has suffered increased market growth, which in turn has resulted in increased hours of work. Flex time at Eastman will provide choice in area of work for employees, and productivity will increase as a result in order to match the level needed for growth requirements. So how is flex time implemented at a company? There are three main factors that play a role in the successful implementation of flex time scheduling at a company. The first being clarity in management. Management must be clear and concise on the amount of work employees are required to submit. There should not be any ambiguity in the requirements established. Second, an equitable tracking system needs to be implemented. In doing so, this creates a positive work culture and work environment that establishes fair practices throughout the organization. And lastly, employees must be held accountable for their work or lack thereof by offering positive and negative incentives to promote increased efficiency. Another proposal solution to help alleviate work-life balance issue at Eastman is for management to encourage participation in volunteer and charitable work. To begin, volunteer and charitable work helps alleviate difficult times through breaks that make a positive impact on others. Volunteer and charitable work combats work-life balance while simultaneously improving corporate social responsibility. And our group also proposed an idea that a good place to volunteer would be the National Resource Defense Council. So what is the National Resource Defense Council? It is a nonprofit international environmental advocacy group. This volunteer work will show the community at large that the organization cares about environmental efforts. And the idea behind this proposal is to hopefully build relationships with the community while simultaneously building relationships with coworkers. One of the best ways to get to know people that you work with is to participate in activities outside of work. And while participating in these activities, workers will hopefully build strong, solid, and positive relationships with the community at large, as well as fellow coworkers. These positive relationships will serve as a core foundation in leading a healthy lifestyle. And finally, workers will feel a sense of purpose in their career, and they'll show up to work with a positive mind, knowing that they are part of something greater than themselves.
So, promoting flex time scheduling as well as participation in volunteer work are two solutions that were more incentive based. So, they were focused on the happiness of the employee, which is kind of what we're going to touch on next. So, job satisfaction is our next element that moves towards the measuring and implementation within the company. So, starting with job satisfaction, Eastman can work on increasing this in order to make employees' time spent at work feel more worthwhile. To ensure employee engagement, it's really important that workers feel as though their work is meaningful, that their job is complex and they're being challenged, and that their roles are clear and defined. So there's no confusion with what they should be doing at work and what their long and short-term goals are. So with all of these aspects come an increase of retaining employees through them being satisfied with their job, obviously.